Did y'all see what that says? It says changes it brought the emergence of tribes, towns, cities, and empires. Okay, it says the presence of the Indians and their ancestors in North and South America span but a fragment in the life of the continents themselves. White explorers and settlers and their descendants bridge a much smaller time, less than 500 out of perhaps 40,000 years. But considering the people, the individuals who span a generation and living out their lives, touched other generations in their past and future, it becomes an enormous not of time, but of an unfolding of the lives of all who have ever occupied the Western Hemisphere. Some change gradually from lifetime to lifetime, influencing or being influenced by ideas or people around them. Others, more isolated, establishing their way of life and changed hardly at all. And the Indians today And the Indians today, with all his generations of relationships with other Indians and with whites, remain as remain as right in their traditions, cultures, and lifestyles as his ancestors who lived when Christopher Columbus touched upon their half of a world who lived when Christopher Columbus touched upon their half of a world and introduced it to his own small continent. Yep. Okay. That was my baby. Well, my big boy and my baby. It'll be 10 soon. Says the European explorers. It says in 1492 when Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Get that out of here. Okay, my bad. Let me stop fooling around. By 1492 when Christopher Columbus made his Bahama Island landfall, the Renaissance had swept through most of Europe. We know the Renaissance was them rewriting and redoing everything, taking the Negro presence out of Europe. Okay, so that was swept through most of Europe already by the time they came over here. Beginning a new, beginning a rebirth, bringing a rebirth of the quest for knowledge that widens man's geographical as well as intellectual horizons. But during his life, Christopher never realized the full lot implications of his voyage. He assumed that the people he had encountered were natives of the East Indian Islands along the coast of Asia, and he also called them Indians. Centuries earlier, Viking explorers had encountered them, but the knowledge of the short-lived Norse colonies and the new lands never spread. Neither Columbus nor subsequent explorers gave much thought to the origins of those native people. It was only after Magellan's voyage across the Pacific in 1520 and 1521 that Europeans fully realized that Columbus had touched the fringes of two continents and discovered a hemisphere, continent so vast that whites would not fully know them or the hold on fully know them or the astonishing variety of their people until more than 300 years later. The term discovery is at once ironic